How's it going today, guys? This is Zeke with Investing with Zeke. Like and subscribe, please. Today we're going to go over my top 5 favorite stocks in the market. I believe if you pick one of these, you probably aren't going to lose. They're well-known companies. I don't own all of them, but maybe I will. They just haven't really hit the spot that I'm looking to buy them at. But let's get started. So number 5, it was a toss-up. I actually had Tesla on there first until I dug through their numbers. You know, he thinks they're going to be worth like $4.5 trillion, where I think they're max $1 trillion company with Elon's star power, because it's really just a car company. And people say that you shouldn't like move stuff around, you know, on in your stock portfolio unless something has changed fundamentally with the company. With a company like Tesla, things change all the time. I mean, Monday everything could be fine. Tuesday he could be buying Twitter. Thursday he could be siding with Russia. You know, the star of the show is pretty much unpredictable. So you should, if you own Tesla, you should always look at it, at your stocks in general, and be like, has anything changed? And could I be wrong? And Tesla has a ton of those red flags. However, you know, I did have Tesla in there because they grow. Their growth is insane. So, you know, and they can grow at least probably 5 years into the future, you know, until they will hit a top. I mean, it does go into that, well, if you start selling and you sold one and then the next year you sold 2, you can be like, I went up 100% in margin, profits, and everything, right? However, you really only sold 2 things. So is that really that magnificent? However, Tesla's held up. It is a great company. It's just, I would always keep my eye on Tesla if I had it in my portfolio. Thankfully, I don't. But then I had Disney in there, and I do think Disney will do well. It'll be really good in the streaming world as well. I think they own like ESPN or something. So, I mean, I believe in with their amusement parks and their cruises. I mean, Disney is a powerhouse. But I decided to go with Microsoft because Microsoft is just innovating and they're expanding and they're just moving a little quicker than Disney is, in my opinion. I think, I mean, everything's pretty good looking at Microsoft. I think it could easily be a $500 stock in, you know, 5 years. So it's safe, heavy institutional ownership. So I'm going to go with number 5 would be Microsoft for me. Number 4, that was pretty easy. The rest of my list is really easy. That number 5 was tough because Tesla is so powerful. It's hard not to put them in the top 5. And you could buy Tesla now and you could still, you know, it could still end up being a $500 or $600 stock in the future, but you know, even soon, it's not worth it. You know, you just have something. It's like owning Bitcoin. That's actually a really good comparison. Anyway, but number 4, yeah, definitely Amazon. Amazon is doing a lot of things. They own a lot of property. They own a lot of warehouses. They're responsible for a lot of jobs. They have the video. They're getting into pharmaceuticals. They're trying to be a pharmacy too. I mean, they try to be a Walmart. Like Amazon is trying to do everything, which they're probably going to be able to pull off. They have a really good team. They haven't let anybody down yet. And it's safe. I mean, it's definitely a safe buy. I could easily see in that being a $300, $400 stock in 5 years before I. Well, the problem with Amazon and also the problem with Microsoft I could see dropping another 50 in the stock price. Amazon I could see dropping like another 30. Like if it got down to 90, I think everybody's buying. So 90, I doubt it'd go below 90, but tons of upside there. It just, if it was around 100, I would buy Amazon because it is in my top 5. So we'll just move. I mean, with Amazon, self-explanatory, and so is my next one, really. Which that would be Google. Google is like the lifeline of technology. You need Google. You also need Amazon and with AWS, but Google is, you got YouTube, which I think is, if they go, which they're in streaming, which I have YouTube TV. You guys should try it. It's pretty great. A little pricey, but, still good. I also have YouTube Music. I mean, Apple is really trying. You could either put, well, I think Apple's still overvalued. Google could still drop too. I mean, I think Google could probably drop to like $60 or $70. However, Google in 3 to 5 years could easily be probably a $200 stock, maybe $250 stock. But it's safe, heavy institution, owns Android, owns everything practically except for Apple. So, but I went with Google at number 3. And that should probably be in everybody's top 3. And if you're just like looking to buy some stocks, I mean, you can't go wrong with Google, Amazon, or Microsoft, or Disney, actually. Which I might actually pick up some Disney. But yeah, Microsoft's a little pricey for me. My number 2 company, which I'll actually make another video on because it might confuse people. But I'm going with Palantir. They're one of the only companies with level 6 clearance with the government, so you can trust them. They have a team. They grow amazingly. They have $2.5 billion in the bank account just waiting in case they need it. The only problem with them is their share dilution, and yeah, they made some crappy investments into some SPACs, but who didn't? Like, I mean, who didn't make bad decisions last year buying stocks? A lot of people did, and the stock-based compensation is for the extreme amount of talent they have, so I'm okay with it when that stops. There's really no way you can go wrong, in my opinion, with Palantir. This would be one that you would want to maybe not put all of your life savings into. But in my opinion, you should look into it yourself. Like, this is not, financial advice by any means, but look into it yourself. And I will make another video on Palantir because I'm sick of you clowns out there disrespecting. Do not disrespect Palantir in your lives. I might have to start pulling up on you. But no, love the company, and that's my number 2. And number 1, which was fighting with Palantir, but I believe Meta is the number 1 you should be buying Meta. Like, I don't know why people aren't buying Meta. They just don't like Mark. I can't wait for the earnings call. I'm gonna be listening to it for sure. I guarantee you're not gonna hear half of the crazy stuff Elon Musk was saying. You're not gonna hear Mark saying my company's worth $3 trillion. You're not gonna hear Mark saying, Mark is a visionary like Elon, and Elon's capable of pulling this off too. So they are kind of similar, but I believe Mark is more focused, more driven, a better businessman, better in general. Mark, in my opinion, is just now, yeah, he has the freedom of speech thing. People, I get it. He shouldn't be muzzling people, but from what he's done and how he moves, how his company's balance sheet is spectacular. It's cheap. Everybody is on Facebook. I mean, people like to say, no, we don't like Facebook, but there's like 1 billion users a day. Like, Facebook is, I don't think you can go wrong at all. And Facebook, I believe Facebook could be a $5 to $1,000 stock. I think it could be a $1 to $3 trillion company. I think it could eventually get in the cell phone space. And make cell phones revolutionary. Like, the metaverse isn't going to probably be what we're thinking. But I bet you Mark knows what it's going to be, and I trust Mark. And so I would put Meta at the number one stock in the whole stock market is Meta. And I don't really care what people say. People will say Tesla's the number one. So it's all opinionated, but there's definitely more facts to back up Meta. And there's no facts to back up Tesla being even worth it's hard to say Tesla's worth $500 like a stock. Tesla's not even worth 500 billion in my opinion. But right now, if you just go right now, in the future, $1 trillion company. Right now, it's so bad that I just don't want to disrespect people. Like, honestly, I thought I would buy at 150, and then that's still kind of ridiculous for today. $60, $68. $69. Ain't that what Elon likes? Yeah, no, definitely not. Meta is the number one stock in the market. Anybody running around telling you to buy Tesla, I think is they're crazy. I mean, what are they? Are they just looking at the chart and they're like, oh, well, it'll go, but what is the reasoning? Like, I know they have technology. Palantir has technology. Google has technology. Do you think the government would give level 6 clearance to Elon Musk, who is actually really close to China, which will probably help us out? But no, the answer is no. So who is more trustworthy? And it is easy. Like, I want a company that I can trust. I want a company that's not crazy, that has a team around it. Like, I think if you pair Elon with somebody, you might have something. But the Tesla was a cool car until Porsche, until Polestar, until I've heard even the Chevy Equinox, which is actually like a crap car, the crap SUV. Which, no, that's just, they're the cheaper version SUV of Chevy. And I hear the Equinox is even nice. And I've been in a Kia EV. I don't remember what it was called. I don't really care. But it was nice. It was, and I've never ridden in a Tesla. I don't think I've ever ridden in a Tesla. Definitely seen Teslas. In my area, you're not going to see a whole bunch of Teslas. And I don't think you will for decades. Because people don't just buy Teslas. And then saying, like, all right, people, so if you guys really think Tesla is so valuable to the world, which it is. I mean, it's helping Ukraine. So is Palantir. But, let's say tomorrow you woke up and Tesla didn't exist. There was no Tesla cars. There was no Tesla anything. How would you feel? You probably would be fine. Now, if Apple didn't exist, which Elon thinks he's worth 4 times more than, if Apple didn't exist, you would panic. You would freak out a little bit. You don't have a phone. There's only a couple of phone makers that make really good phones. So without Apple, people panic. Without Tesla, you're fine. You can still even get an EV car. So you cannot give the importance to Tesla over any of these Amazon. Okay, so nobody even talks that it's so Amazon's so beneath Tesla, right? Amazon's nothing, okay, to Tesla. That's what these Tesla bulls would tell you. They'd be like, no, Tesla is valuable as Apple. But in all actuality, go ahead, say something. But really, Amazon is more valuable than Tesla. And it's not even close. You wake up tomorrow, Tesla's gone, you're fine. You wake up tomorrow, Amazon's gone, you're not fine. Your wife's not fine. Your kids aren't fine. Nothing's fine. So, yeah, I mean, Google's the same. This is stupid, guys. This is really stupid. Is Palantir more valuable than if we woke up without Palantir? Okay, we'd probably be okay. But if we woke up with Tesla, we would probably be okay. So, Disney. How would y'all feel if Disney wasn't around tomorrow? None of the Marvel comics and all that stuff, all gone. Is that more valuable than Tesla? What about Pepsi? What if Pepsi just stopped? Tesla is not No, guys. They're not even the best at making solar panels. You got In-Phase. They're not the best making robots. You got Power Dynamic or whatever, which Hyundai bought, by the way. I think so. I'd have to double check into it. It is what it is, guys. I mean, this is logic. If you throw all your money into Tesla and you lose it, who are you blaming? This doesn't take a PhD. You don't need a physics degree to realize that Tesla's not even in a top 5, not even close to the top 5 stocks you should be buying. But God, it made it more like a Tesla video. Jeez. That conference call must have really grinded my gears, and people are still online oh my God, that was so amazing. Yeah, they had good numbers. Did you listen to the rest of what he was saying? Are you just going to ignore it? We're just going to ignore it then? All right, no, that's just Elon. That's what we're going to do? For further than the future can see, huh? Well, I tell you what. Tesla's not even in my top 10. Like and subscribe. See you next time.